45-48. It will take some sort of a monumental collapse for them and a great inspired comeback from NUNS if they are going to the semifinals. We'll see if that happens. Good start. And a couple of jams from Musa Diakite in this game.
Yeah,
and an offensive foul.
Yeah.
So I did say it has to be an inspired effort to come back.
I mean, that's a good way to start, right? Diakite with the steal at half court, driving all the way through with that dunk as well. Second one of the game, and then to push up high, cause that turnover. Matthias with the sarcastic bit of clapping, I think, you know, getting a decision going their way. But it's their efforts. You know, it's about them now in this final quarter if they want to turn things around, because if you look at it, the way Yongsan have gone about their business, it doesn't look likely, but you never know here. You need some inspiration, as you said.
Yeah, it has to be inspired because of the discipline of this Yongsan team and back-to-back hits. And in modern-day basketball, as you know, Roshan, a 13-point lead is nothing. 6-0 run in a matter of 26 seconds, and Coach Lee Sebum has seen enough.
They look pumped, NUNS, for this, and on that run. And look at how hard they were pressing there, how aggressive they were, causing panic. Yongsan, we haven't seen them panic. They've been composed, but just there, in that short passage, they were all over the place. It began with this, a lack of focus from the start. Diakite was switched onto it. That drive, that dunk, lovely stuff, but it didn't stop there. Matthias then was having another look at this one. Wonderful anticipation from Diakite, and it's almost sort of set the tone with the intensity right from the start. To begin again, Matthias there, Tulabo with the double team, and they make the most of these situations, Boom, by taking the chances, making them count, getting points on the board, and causing pressure for Yongsan, who've called that timeout.
And before that, of course, Matias was the one who forced the offensive foul after the Diakite dunk. So 6-0 run in 30 seconds, well, 32 if you want to be official about it. 65-54, just as I was saying, that in modern day basketball, you know, 13, 15, 17-point leads really vanish.
Yeah, but it was more about, not really the points gap, but more about the attitudes and the way that it was going from the first three quarters. And suddenly we've seen NUNS wake up right at the start of this fourth. So talk about composure, calmness needed. That needs to come from Yongsan High School now.
Matias talking to the referee here. It may not be a good idea. Just got to stay focused on the game. Now it's them putting on defensive pressure. Trying to force another turnover. Lots of time. 65-54. Some gamemanship going on downstairs already now, Roshan.
Yeah.
You know that it's an important game when this is happening.
And it's to be expected, I would think, as well, even at this level.
Good screen, good bounce pass, good recovery by Diakite. Lucido staying on, 9 on the 24. That's a travel.
Yeah.
That's good discipline by Musa.
Diakite, there you go. Talk about learning on the job.
Remember, he has 4 fouls for those who just joined us. So he is skating on thin ice, as they say. So 9:07 to play.
He's kept himself out of trouble so far, Diakite.
Lucido, what a closeout there! But they recover in time. Matias back to Lucido. Lucido draws the foul this time, using that aggressive closeout correctly to his advantage. Yeah. Sometimes those things really hurt.
The impact, right? Yeah.
Coach Sebum not happy now, making some. He's putting in Eddie here. Timbang is going to come in the meantime for Season. So every time Eddie is there, Coach Kevin puts in Alan Timbang. That seems to be the strategy. More to body up Eddie. Oh, that's a push that they don't call, but ball will stay with NU with 8 seconds to shoot.
Pretty smart from Lucido there, you know. He was sensed that he was going to be in a little bit of trouble, wasn't getting the call. Nice intelligence just to try and keep a hold of the ball.
Matias for 3. No. But he gets the ball back. Inside, Lucido with an acrobatic play. And an 8-0 run by NUNS.
Yeah, excellent. All the mistakes coming from the side in the lead.
Oh, very fancy pass. Philippines trying to scramble back on defense. Eddie for 3. No. Philippines looking to get the run to continue. NUNS on the attack. Lucido. Back to Timbang for three. Gets it to go!
Great execution there from Timbang. Certainly looking a lot better this morning than he did yesterday. There's a bit of an issue here with one of the officials and Coach Castro.
The lead, by the way, down to 6 from 17. So remember, we started the quarter, for those who just tuned in, 65-48.
11-0 in this fourth.
That's the run that all started with a defensive effort by Diakite and the dunk.
Maybe Yongsan desperately need a momentum breaker here. Something to disrupt the rhythm.
What are they doing wrong
Get
right
points
now?
on the ball. They look like they're succumbing to the pressure here that they're coming up against. Shots are not going in, and that should have been for someone like Kim Yong-seo. Put in a lovely three earlier. You look at the time that he had there as well.
Right.
Suddenly they're not draining the threes.
Lucido missing the three. Lots of time. Three on the other side this time. Still no go. Diakite does the smart thing. Dribbles out of trouble. Inside. And an inversion and a 13-0 run now. This time by Kulabut, who loves to play underneath.
The lack of strong execution is really hurting Yongsan.
Oh, that was big.
They needed that.
That was big. Because that lead was down to 4. A little cushion here at 7. Diakite is fouled.
And then going for another triple this time around, they make it Kim Min-jae, and he had to make that just to try and break it up a little bit. They were struggling. Still 13-3 in this fourth, and that gap is 7 now.
Yep. It was down to 4, yeah. Big 3. The drought was huge, and we got a lot of basketball to play here under 7 minutes. Semi-final slot. Yes. Man, trapped. Lucido thought about the 3. Drives closer. Fades away. Got it. Degree of difficulty. And another. What is this? A technical? Or just a foul? A technical. A lot of yapping. For delaying the game this time. Too much gamemanship. and that will be Musa moving out.
That's his.
That's the eliminating foul.
He's done.
Because a technical foul is a personal foul. And that's what we were talking about, that you have to stay focused and understand your value to your team and get out of all of this gamemanship that's going on. Because obviously, if you're the opponent, you're also going to try to get into your head.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's a big blow, though. Diakite, losing Diakite, huge blow for them. And the issues were earlier on in the match.
For
not
sure.
so much the fact that, he's fouled out here. He did very well to hang on as long as he did on 4.
Right.
Personal, to coming into the minutes that he's played right at the end. But it was just really a matter of time. The damage was done much earlier on.
Here comes the trap, the takeaway. Lucido blitzing. Yongsan denied by Eddie.
It's been so impressive defensively, Eddie. Not much in the way of points on the board from Daniel Eddy. Certainly not at the level he was at in their opener, but the defensive contribution has been right up there.
You know what? Diakite is still making a lot of noise on the bench that NBA security had to hold him down and tell them this. Because they're also trying to teach values here, Roshan. We know at this level, high school level, they're trying to teach the right way to play the game and approach the game.
I mean, I can absolutely see that. But you also love the passion.
For sure.
It matters to these players.
And another technical foul.
Big contact down, Kwak. And they just head towards the advertising boards here, looking away. They can't believe what's going on. They can't believe what's going against them. Timbang as well is going to be out.
Right. And this is where your head has to stay in the game, regardless of what, who you're playing. Because you know that the referees are already starting to adjust and calling things tight because of what has been happening. So you, as I said, with the same with Diakite, you have to stay away from all of these things.
It's tough, isn't it? You're emotionally invested into this when you looking to try and fight back as well and get into it. But there's a danger of it perhaps boiling over a little bit. Diakite is still having a chat with one of the NBA staff, just explaining his side of things.
Correct.
And all you do in these situations, I think, is just provide a listening ear.
Yeah, but what the NBA staff is also telling him is it's part of this invitational
Yeah.
to act correctly.
Of course,
Right.
absolutely.
On and off the court.
100%, 100%. There's no doubt about that. But you can completely understand where the emotions are coming
For sure.
from, because
And
it
you love
matters
that.
a lot. You love that.
Yeah.
You want to see players have some sort of reaction because they care. They want to win.
Especially we've gone through a couple of days of a lot of blowouts.
Yeah,
already here in
yeah.
this
And
game.
this has been a close one, and especially when you look at the effort NUNS have put in this fourth quarter. Again, tensions will be heightened.
Korea might have found a little bit of an answer as they got the lead back up to 9. Lucido cuts it down to 7. Inside, Eddie with a fake, Eddie with a twirl. And Eddie draws the foul, and Philippines better be careful with all of these reactions. They've already gotten 2 technical fouls.
That time being called here. There's an issue for Matthias. You know, he stayed down. He's looking for the change. I mean, they're asking him, do you want to come off? Do you want to sub? That's the Eddie.
The foul was called on Lucido, by the way.
Yeah. The right arm, Matthias, he was just having a bit of a lie down and
Yeah, I think
seemed
this
to be
is
struggling, but looks to be okay.
Right. I think also this is all frustration also right now. Look, there's a lot of time here. 5:46. They've scored so much points in such little time, but the reactions are the ones that are getting them or killing their momentum. The technical fouls,
discipline
obviously.
again, right?
Yeah, right. Which, these are things that all these schools, all these teams have to learn as they go through these competitions. You may be used to in your local leagues, in your own countries, about a certain way of how fouls are being called, how referees call, and then internationally you have to make adjustments. Even in the NBA level, they do that. When they play in the Olympics, when they play other world games, they have to adjust also to the refereeing
100%.
internationally. Window is still open here, and an 8-point deficit for NUNS. Korea, Yongsan High School trying to hang on. Stop. Ball movement by Yongsan. 10 on the shot clock. Eddie asking for it underneath. Double team on him. Rotation of the ball. Free for a 3. And the rebound fought for, and Eddie again is grabbed by Season, who could not block him out.
Incredible rebounding from Daniel Eddie. Again, the physicality.
Yeah. He wanted that, didn't he?
Absolutely fighting for it. And can't be any arguments about that being a foul. He was dragged down. A bit of a wrestling move here from Season.
And Washan, did you see where he came from?
Yeah, look at his movement. The anticipation is what I've noticed from Daniel Eddie. He reads it so well and he gets himself into great areas. But once more, they were patient with the ball, how they rotated it. Found the channel out to Kim Yun-seo. Went for the 3, wasn't able to sink that, but Daniel Eddie was there.
12 of 18 from the free throw line. Was the 17-point lead too big of a hole for NUNS to recover from? We'll find out in the final 5:04. And an 8-point deficit for them. And things might have cooled down on the Yongsan side of things. 2 misses though by Daniel Eddie. Lucido. Matias. Underneath, Tulabot. He loves operating there. He thought he got fouled. No call. So on the other end is another Philippine foul. Matias this time will be called for this one.
Now the pass, and they've got to be careful here. Tulabot running across, getting in the face. A few apologies there. Now this is not what you want to see.
Yeah.
Up to a certain point, but that outlet pass from Kwak launched all the way to the other side.
Matias will move out. Let's look at that breakaway. That's an unsportsmanlike foul. So the reaction by Kim is justified.
Yeah.
With the hard foul, but Tulabot rushing over to. It's a good thing that he was able to restrain himself there, Roshan.
Yeah, it certainly was. Mateus, I mean, he's one of the vocal players on this side. You hear him talking to his teammates on the court, coming into the officials as well. He's not afraid to voice his concerns.
So a technical foul will be called because of the reaction of Kim and Lucido knocking down that free throw. But free throws will be given to number 22, Kim Yun-seo. coach Kevin. NUNS still trying to stay cool through this very intense fourth quarter. No question, the most intense game we've had in the Invitational so far for a spot in the semifinals. Hands down.
Hands down. Easily. Easily. I think the most exciting one we might have had as well.
It's had a lot of drama. It's had everything, actually.
Yeah.
1 out of 2, and because that's an unsportsmanlike foul, ball possession will stay with Yongsan High School.
The stakes are so high.
You get to stay in Singapore to play.
I think that's the... I mean, yes, staying in Singapore is absolutely wonderful to have a look around, continue on with the sights and sounds, but getting minutes on the court, that's the big thing, yeah.
In the first ever NBA Invitational. Manding taking it away. Manding on the run. 3 on its way for NUNS. Gets it to go. The lead down to 5 with an eternity of basketball to play, as the Philippine saying goes.
Might be an injury concern here for Kim Min-jae.
Was it an ankle? They're going to stop play here.
Just tripped up after they'd released that.
Let's look at this push by Manding. Finding Man.
Good timing that from Man. Jump at the release, getting the big 3 points on the board. Cutting that lead down to just 5.
With a lot of time.
A lot of time left, yeah.
Manding again making it happen.
That's the hustle of LeBron, Jake Manding.
He has become a crowd favorite from day number 1 because of plays like that.
Huge heart, Manding.
One of your favorites.
Yeah, everyone. I just
watch.
love his intensity and his heart. He's got great spirit, and it's infectious as well.
Yeah, we've seen it in the girls division.
And he looks to be a very popular figure
in
the team as well.
With a name like that. 5 seconds to shoot here. Lucido, I don't know if he knows. A second to shoot. Maybe he didn't know. Awareness of the shot clock.
Into those bad habits. Again, it's another sort of turnover there.
It is, which they've been good at the last few minutes.
That's quick. Lovely play from Eddie.
They leave it for a 3, rattling out. Yongsan salvages this play. Oh, nice cut. Season denying Kim. Eddie, corner pocket, foot on the line. Tap goes 2. It will stay with Yongsan. Season will be called for a foul.
An issue with the contact lens there for Kim Min-jae. Gets it back in. Yeah, 2 big, powerful guys in there waiting for those offensive boards. Kim and Eddie blocking out very well and picking up those rebounds, causing problems.
So this will be 2 free throws. At 74-69. 15 points for that man. Make that 16. He really started very well for Yongsan earlier. A little breathing room for them. 2 solid free throws to give them some space. 7 points.
Well, NUNS, if you take it just on this quarter alone, have absolutely demolished the Yongsan, but we wonder if the damage was done early on. And if it's just going to be a bridge too fast, there's plenty of time though. But there's the defensive intensity coming back into it from Yongsan High's perspective.
Great closeout. For those who just tuned in, no Diakite, Musa Diakite out on 4 personal fouls and the technical.
Man, if we've just used it, where have you been? You've missed a heck of a game.
Yeah. Especially this 4th quarter where NUNS mounted this furious comeback. Lucido spins. Oh, what a shot! And what a foul up there. But again, what is the call? They're going to wave off the basket.
It's been waved off, and there's a lot of confusion here.
Oh, yes.
Because even just a Tulabut.
What an athletic move.
Gone over to his coach to say, what?
I don't think there was anything illegal.
Didn't see anything wrong with Lucido there. Tulabut. Then on the follow-up, is that something they're calling as unsporting behavior? I don't know. I can't see it. Tulabut, is it because of his reaction here?
No, but
there's something
we don't know.
on.
Looks like they are going to wave the basket. And obviously, we're up here. We won't see the explanation, or we won't get to hear the explanation. But yeah, so play on, wasting that athletic move.
Well, knock off the ball there as well. coming together between Kim and Tulabut, but no action taken. Play continues.
Yeah, the referee called it a flop. The play continues. Baseline drive. Seesaw recovery. 2:40 to play. That's a travel. Wow, Tulabut can get up, and I've seen that in Manila, but seeing it at this level is also really fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, he looks fired up as well.
I'll tell you what, that was the most spectacular play of the Invitational so far.
Yeah.
It just didn't count.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for Tulabut in that situation. I really do. I'm not quite sure what exactly happened with the call there, but
we'll try to get the explanation later. 76-69 is the score. Lots of basketball to play, 2:28. Manding thought about it. He gets out of the trap, gets out of jail, uses the screen, jumps up a three, gets it to go! We definitely have a ball game.
Yeah, far from being done here.
4-point lead. The score has not changed in the scoreboard, but it should be 76-72.
There you go.
78-72 and a breakdown on the defense of NUNS. Under 2 minutes to play.
I think we're getting, oh, have a look at LeBron, Jake Manding. Oh, Tulabut is there.
Oh, but I think he's in cramps now. From all the jumping. And that's the jumping and the intensity of the game.
Yeah. Being played at a great tempo. Wonderful cadence to this contest.
Now they're gonna...
And I think, Boom, I was just going to say, we're getting a glimpse of perhaps what we can expect from the semifinals.
Correct. And we did talk about this last night. This is just going to get better.
That quality and intensity of play is just going to ramp up.
Right. Game's going to get better. Tulabut's going to get treated for his cramps. That's a sorry miss for them. They need him there. They're down 4 on defense. NUNS. If you're Yongsan, you cannot stop being aggressive on offense. You cannot play not to lose.
No, you're absolutely right. Again, it's just about being brave in these situations. Now look at Jake Manding. I mean, you can see why. I'm a big fan of his. You know, just everywhere.
And he's a no-nonsense player too. He doesn't really complain much. He just goes along.
Defensive monster.
Unfortunately, because the Philippines and NUNS have been over the limit, every foul means free throws. Fortunately for NUNS, that's a miss. So their lead is down to 4 still. This might boil down to real minute details at the end. Free throw missed again. Let's see if that was a huge miss. 4-point deficit. 12 on the 24. Lucido trying to play isolation. Celis recovering. Trap on Celis. Lucido recovering with a second to shoot. Ooh, that would have been big. A stop, a crucial one for Yongsan. And a turnover though.
Yeah, and he's just losing his footing there. Running to 3. And NUNS defenders. Tulabut, great to see him back on. It's his second 20-point game. Back-to-back matches, so he's picked up 20,
where he was the best player of the game. Man will sit on the bench. Manding will stay together with Celis. Under a minute and a 2-possession ball game. Yongsan trying to stay disciplined on defense. Manding will shoot. That is a great contest by Yongsan. Breakaway on the other end. Free throws coming.
Big defensive rebound there from Eddie. Once again.
Yeah, and even bigger, Roshan, was that closeout to the Manding 3.
The 17 rebounds, Eddie. 13 of those have been in the defensive zone.
As Kwak can move. A big free throw to get it to 5. 34 seconds remaining. Huge free throws by Kwak. Two-possession deficit. Manding still on top. Underneath. Lead down to 4 with 20.8 seconds. What is the strategy here? Oh, and a technical! Again. just a foolish mistake there by Tulabut swatting that ball away in the inbound.
Overly eager there, Tulabut.
Because he was trying to delay.
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
Yeah.
Look at this is where. So Eddie was trying to. They're gonna call that.
It's that gamesmanship as well coming into it from Yongsan at times, right? These little things that come into it, adding to the frustrations.
They did say details.
Yeah.
Yep. Small things. They compound.
Look at the emotion on the bench.
Timbang, can't do anything but watch right now. Back to 5 with 20.8 remaining, and NUNS is going to be forced to try to force a turnover here or play the foul game. Bone-crushing screen provided by Eddie. No need to rush. If you're Yongsan, you can eat as much time from the clock. Down to 8 seconds. Keep away. And a late foul by Man to stop the clock at 4.3, but with a 2-possession lead.
Yongsan doing what you'd expect. Just moving it around very quickly, eating away. Yeah. Taking the time from the clock. And UNS couldn't get close, couldn't touch them. Eventually they did, but took quite a while to put the contact in.
Yeah, so if you just tuned in, this fourth quarter started with a 17-point lead. And a quick, furious rally by NUNS cut the lead down to as low as 4. But a combination of some technical fouls and some costly turnovers have given Yongsan enough space and enough relief to try to get themselves into the semifinals. So final timeout here with 4.3 seconds remaining in what has been a highly competitive ball game. Big man Musa Diakite on your screens fouling out.
Yeah.
And that was a huge blow to their campaign.
Made a big difference. Made a big difference that Diakite was just fouled out. I guess the frustrating thing from NUNS's perspective is when you look at the performance in this fourth, you'd probably ask the question, where was it for the rest of this? Where was it for the rest of this contest? You know, where was that intensity, that pressure that you were able to put on Yongsan High School? Why was it saved up just for the fourth quarter when you were behind and you know you needed to absolutely make a big push for it? So I think if they sort of look back at it, just put aside things that are outside of your control, the decisions from the officials, look at yourself. And if you're looking forward in terms of using this as a learning lesson, as a journey, then you ask these sorts of questions. Where was this effort? Where was this drive? Where was this determination in the earlier stages?
And the adjustment to officiating is also another thing. Because these boys are going to be playing not just this, but a few other international gigs.
Yeah.
It also...
Lessons to be learned for sure.
Yeah. Down 7 with 4.3. This is just about trying to get a good shot here for Coach Kevin De Castro's boys. And in the continuing rivalry of Korea and Philippines, as I mentioned, that we established at the start of this game, that these two countries have really broken the hearts of each other many times in international competition, and in true fashion, they're going at it again here, even in the inaugural NBA Rising Stars Invitational.
Picked up this game, it's lived up to it. I remember saying right at the start, before the team introductions, we are set up for a spectacular game of basketball, and that's exactly what we've had this morning. What a great start to this Friday at the Kallang Tennis Hub.
Speaking of start, Sean Lucido was the guy who got NUNS started with a couple of triples here in this game. Great start. Then the Yongsan High School's discipline came into play. Another foul here with a 1/10 of a second, which will mean free throws. Go to the other side. Just to extend this game won't affect the outcome, only the final score. And all right, let's look ahead. Yongsan will advance.
Yeah, they will. I mean, big challenge for them coming up in the semifinals from what we've seen from some of the other teams. Tsinghua University, also very strong competition. Fukuoka University Ohori Senior High School.
That's a
Trojans, very solid side.
Solid defensively too. And a very fast-paced team.
Yeah.
That would be a yummy matchup if that happens. And that will do it. The Yongsan High School of South Korea